I will give you a few points regarding prayers, and these young people are here, though not very serious, but okay, they can listen to that, and if they practice those points, they can learn a lot from them. And I know always in every gathering there are few very serious people who are listening and those who are following, and what a time to learn in this young age. So if I'm 50 and I'm learning something, I have very few years left in my life, but look at them, 13, 14, 15, if they learn, they have plenty of years to practice. So what you should learn regarding prayer, regarding namaz, which you had done, 2 points I think. 2 points are very important. Number one, whom you are standing in front of. You are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That sense, if you could create that sense, you are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you will be standing in front of Him on the Day of Judgment. As you will be standing in front of Him on all aspects of your life, now you are in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you have this small point, which is very important, vital, that you are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you could imagine that point, it can change your behavior. It can change the way you are standing. Now look, we are sitting here, for example, just for a while think that Imam of our Asr, if he comes in this gathering, what will be our behavior? How we would be sitting? How we would be reacting? And just imagine that in prayer you are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Humbleness is necessary. Concentration of mind on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is necessary. Number one. Number two, whatever you say, there is a meaning for whatever you are saying. So if you are saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, there is a meaning for Bismillah. Concentrate on the meaning only. So 2 points are very important in your prayer, and throughout the prayer, 2 points. Whom you are standing in front of, and number 2, what you are saying. If you could concentrate on these 2 points, it can make your prayer living, and it will give you an impact, as the Holy Prophet said, As-salat mirajul mu'min. It can elevate your status, and you can go wherever you can go. Now, before moving to the main point, every gesture in salat has a symbolic meaning. So standing has a meaning, bowing down has a meaning, going to sajda has a meaning. Every gesture in salat has a meaning. It is all symbolic. All symbolic. The right thing is to pay attention on the symbolic value of every gesture. This will give another meaning in your prayer, and you can get benefit. I had an opportunity 2 years back to recite an ashra on the meanings of salah, and it is available on the net if someone wants to listen that. It is in Urdu though. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, I know it's very different being a teacher in Pakistan and being a teacher in the States. It's very different. In Pakistan, you have different type of authority in a class, and in the States, it is a different game. But I can tell these students that for last 35 years, I'm teaching. Around 35 years, officially, unofficially, in Pakistan, in different countries, and in big classes of more than 100 people, classes of small students. So whatever you are doing, I'm watching you. Though I'm ignoring, though I will ignore, because I know it's not Pakistan. If it was Pakistan, I can do a lot of things. But because it is not Pakistan, and it is not an official, classroom, so I'll not react as I used to react in my classes. But be assured, I'm watching you. So if you're throwing something, you're pinching someone, I'm always looking, and I'm ignoring, and I will ignore, inshallah. Just requesting you, don't think that I cannot see. No, I can see, I can notice, I can remember your face. It's not a problem for me, but I will ignore, and I will keep praying for your success, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil. Now coming to the point of regarding the occasion which we are for, in the name of Bibi Sayyida Zehra salamullahi alayhi. Once again, please recite the durood. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajah. I think it's a type of sunnah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has sent men for guidance, but with a woman beside them. So it's a type of sunnah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whenever you have a great personality from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being Hujjatullah, then you have someone beside him working and assisting. So in starting from Hazrat Adam, going up to the Holy Prophet, and then going downward, always you have purified souls of women assisting men in their great responsibility. And then who can be greater than Sayyida Tahira? The elevated status which Bibi had. So right from the beginning, you had Hazrat Hawa, and you had Hazrat Asiya, and you had Hazrat Maryam, salamullahi alayhinna. All these great personalities, they were working with prophets, and Allah has mentioned them, their sacrifices. Hazrat Asiya, how she sacrificed, and Hazrat Maryam, her life and her character. Then going to the Prophet, it came to Bibi Khadija, salamullahi alayha, recite a durud for her soul. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil. As the message of Allah was getting complicated, and as the responsibility of Hujjatullah becoming greater, I assumed that character of the lady which was assisting the Prophet or the Hujjah was becoming greater, was becoming elevated. So with Holy Prophet, you had Hazrat Khadija, salamullahi alayha, the great lady, who helped Islam and who helped Prophet with whatever she had. Her social influence, her wealth, her reputation in the society, she sacrificed everything. And when you came to Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, Mazlumul Islam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil. When you came to him, you know, what was the suffering of Imam Ali alayhi salam after the death of Holy Prophet. And throughout those sufferings and throughout the times when Imam Ali was assisting Holy Prophet, you have Hazrat Sayyida beside Imam Ali, helping him and also the Prophet. And what a way to express. Holy Prophet said, Ummu Abiha. She is the daughter who is mother of her father. So, Ummu Abiha, what a title. You know, the expression is so meaningful. You never had any daughter in the world, in the whole series of prophets. You never had such a title, Ummu Abiha. Daughter who is acting like a mother for her father. So that was the status of Bibi Sayyida. And again we can point out that she was the role which was a father for her father, mother for her father, and then assisting Amirul Mu'mineen. So the two greatest personalities of this universe, and the one of them is Holy Prophet and the other one is Imam Ali, both of them got direct benefit from Sayyida Tahira salamullahi alayha. And she helped both of them in the most critical of times. So we have to see that what type of character was that, and what we have to learn from them. So it is very difficult whenever you talk about a great personality to cover all aspects of that personality, even in the worldly personalities. So if you talk about, for example, it's a very minor humble example. If you talk about a president, for example, a popular president, you cannot cover all the personalities of that president even. But if you talk about Ma'asumin alayhim as-salam, and if you talk about Hazrat Fatima salamullahi alayha, how can you cover them? It is beyond your limit to cover all the aspects of her great personality. And there is another question in the mind of students, in the mind of every young person can be, that how can we follow them? With that long distance, I mean, how far they are from our life, how simplified was Arabia, and how complicated we are in this modern world, and what was the role of women at that time and the role of women this time. So with all these differences, how can we follow Hazrat Sayyida with these differences? So I will point 3 main points from her personality, and these points can guide us how can we get benefit from her personality. And one more point before giving these 3 points, it is not only for women to follow Hazrat Fatima Zehra salamullahi alayha. It's for everyone. You know, when Holy Quran said, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. In the character of Holy Prophet, you have a great example to follow. It is not only for men to follow Holy Prophet, it is for everyone, men and women both, to follow Holy Prophet. So what about Sayyida? Should she be followed only by women? Or no? She's a character, a role model for everyone. So I think beside those certain points which are only related to women, there are many points which are a general guidance for everyone, men and women, and I'm picking 3 points only from her great life which can be beneficial for us, inshallah. Again, sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad. You know, sometimes we have different activities in our life and we assume them very important, but if you go through your life, you know, you can understand that that was not that important. For example, a person like me who has spent, I think, most part of my life, so if I go back and I see what role in my life had a few sports, for example. So if I played cricket or I played football, which we call football in Pakistan, you call something else, or I played hockey, does it make any difference in my life? Especially if I feel and if I believe, and I think I'm right, I rightly believe that I'm not limited to this world. I have to go to another world. And this world is very limited and that world will be unlimited. So which game or sports I had, will it make any difference? I don't think. And how important was that when I was playing? I was assuming that this is part of my life. I cannot ignore that. But after 50 years, I can realize that no, that was not part of my life actually. That was just an activity beside my original life. So there is a point in ourselves that we are sometimes late in understanding the reality of life. Sometimes we are very late in understanding the realities of our life. There is a wonderful saying from Imam Ali alayhi salam, and he says, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Muhammad. He says, An-nasu niyamun iza ma tuntabihu. People sleeping, they are sleeping. And when they die, they awake. This is very strange from Imam Ali. Can we call all these people working in industries, businesses, shops, and so many places, Imam saying they are sleeping actually? Now we know they are awake. But Imam says they are sleeping. Why they are sleeping? Because as a sleeping person cannot understand the environment. Most of us are sleeping. We cannot understand the environment, true environment in which we are living. So what is our environment? How to understand that? And he said, very strange, he said, إِذَا مَا تُنْتَبِهُ, when they die, they awake. And they say, oh, I missed that. So if that happens, that will be very late. And why it should happen with us? When we have these great personalities guiding us to the reality of life. So we should not be the one who is sleeping and will be awake and will awake after his death or her death. So be ready for reality. And try yourself, strive your best to get the reality. And what is the reality? Looking at the characters of these great personalities, I will pick one of them, 3 of them, and quickly, inshallah, I will explain them. Number 1 is her relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What type of relationship she had with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Now we have many expressions, many traditions regarding her worships, her prayers at night, her du'as and supplications. Now what is the essence of this relationship? If I tell you she used to offer namaz for 2 hours in the night, I cannot offer 2 hours in the night. What I should do? She used to recite so many du'as, I cannot do that. So what I should do? So I will go to the essence of this relationship. What was the essence of this relationship? Feeling Allah in every aspect of your life. It is the essence. And we call it ubudiyah. Bandagi. Being servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you could understand that, if you could bring that point in your mind, in every aspect of your life, you are following the path given by Sayyidah Tahira Salamullahi alayha. This is her path. Always remind yourself that you are servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what a servant should do. I experienced in my own life a very small question. I think I mentioned that last time, but again doing this, I experienced this, that whenever you are doing something, ask yourself, is this going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is one of the way to remind ourselves that we are servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is our ubudiyah. This world is not for us to act according to our desires, our wishes. This world is to act according to what Allah has given us. So this is ubudiyah, following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are His servant. So whenever you are doing something, and I mean very small things too. For example, I'm going to wear this thing, and it is different from whatever people are wearing. So if I'm wearing this thing, I will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is it going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Should I wear that? Or if I'm traveling to, for example, from Pakistan to States, I can ask myself when buying ticket that, is it going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And if I'm going to write an email to someone and conveying something, let's before clicking the send, is it going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Having conversation, watching television, doing something else, always ask yourself, is it going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do it if it is going to please. And don't do it if you are sure it's not going to please Him. Stop yourself. You are nothing but a servant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the essence of her life. First point, her relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot limit her relationship in her namaz, in her prayers, in her supplications, in her whatever she was doing. You can get the essence and the core of this relationship, which was obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is a beauty in connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can make it a practice for yourself. My first practical point was to ask yourself, is it going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? My second practical point, because always I try to give some practical points. My second practical point is spare a few minutes in your life, all day, every day, spare a few minutes from your life. Now I'm requesting my younger friends here, this can change your life. And I know what you are living in, and I know what can be the impact of this point in your life, and I know always there are people listening, uzunun wa'iyah. In every gathering there are some uzunun wa'iyah, listening people. So the second point is, spare 1 or 2 minutes only every day from your life and talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your own language. Be it English, Arabic, Persian, Urdu, whatever you speak it. Talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I can guarantee you with 30 years of my humble experience, more than 30, it's around 33 years now, that these 2 minutes can change your life. Only 2 minutes, for example. Talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your own language, whatever you're speaking in. So no need of any prayer from, for example, any Arabic supplication. Just speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and tell Him whatever you wanted to say. Initially, you will find it difficult what to say, but then I am sure, initially it will be tough. After a few seconds, you will ask yourself, what should I say now? But if you keep doing this, then I am sure you will never leave these 2 minutes from your life. It will be the essence of your life. And do it, it can change your life. So my second practical point is, first one was asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking yourself, is it going to please Allah? And the second point is, talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm sure it can change your life. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Second point from her life, we have many traditions. How hard she used to work for her family, for children, for her husband, and how humble she was. In one of her great traditions, she said, I feel ashamed asking Ali something which he cannot do. And if you go through this sentence, it has so many meanings for our life. Second point is her activity for her family. The environment she has created for her family. It was a very humble home. None of our homes can be compared to that home in its simplicity. She had a very humble home. But all the inhabitants of that very simple home were the happiest people on earth. How it was? Because of the love and care which she was offering to her family. She was sacrificing everything. I'm not telling my sisters to sacrifice their everything, but if you want to follow the prince of Sayyidah Tahara, and if we men want to follow the prince of Sayyidah Tahara, what we have to do? Be sincere. Be sincere with everyone. This is her message for her personal life, family life, Be sincere. And this is enough. That's it. If you want to live a good life, just be sincere. Don't have two personalities. One is to show and one is to hide. This is the killing factor in our life. We have two personalities, at least. When I talked to some professionals, they said, in our professional life, we have to have 3 or 4 personalities. One for our colleagues, one for our subordinates, and one for our bosses, one for our family. I said, how difficult it is for you. You have one motor, one engine, and running 4 cars. It's very difficult. Be simple in your life. He said, how can it be? I said, be sincere and you have nothing to hide. Be sincere. That's it. So if I'm facing you and I'm sincere, what I should hide? I have nothing to hide. I'm not looking at your wealth. I'm not looking at your reputation. I'm not looking to hurt you. I'm not looking to get benefit from you. So what I should hide? I have nothing to hide. So why should I have 2 personalities? Be sincere. Don't look for someone's wealth, someone's reputation to get something from him. No. Try to give something. You change this perception and you can be sincere. What is the perception? This is my third practical point. Always try to be a giving person, not someone who is taking something. Always try to be a giving person. So, you are standing in front of Bill Gates, for example, try to give him something. Don't look at his wealth. Don't look at their fame. Don't look at their power. Don't try to get something. Try to give something. Now, who is going to give you if you are giving everyone? It is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is Razak and He loves those who give. And He is a supply and a source for someone who gives. So always try to be a person who is giving something. Now, someone can tell me, Mawlana, I don't have any money to give. What? And I never asked you to give any money. I asked you to give sincerity. I asked you to give happiness. I asked you to give dua. And these 3 things, everyone can give, the poorest one too. You can offer happiness. Look at someone who is, sad, he's in trouble, and you come to them and you say something and he becomes happy. That's it. You are giving. Dua. Is there anything needed to offer dua? Now you sit somewhere, offer dua. May Allah help them. May Allah solve their problem. This is something you can give to everyone. Whole world you can give. And then Allah will give you. And you have so many resources to give. So share your resources. So the second lesson which we can learn from life of that great lady is to be sincere. If you are sincere, if you are loving, you have so many people to be sincere with you. You know, there is a pattern in this world, and I tried my best to understand what is the formula for all successes. So I tried to get success in my world, this world, and thereafter. And then I thought, can there be single formula for every success? I thought, yes, there is a formula. And the formula says that whatever you give will come back to you increased. Whatever you give will come back to you with some increment. So if I give happiness, it will come back, bring me more happiness. And this is the way this universe is working. So you need ilm, give ilm. You need respect, give respect. And I tell you, it is also working on the negative side. So if I hurt someone, then I should be ready to be hurt. And if I show disrespect to someone, then be ready. You will be disrespected. So be very careful in whatever you are giving to others, because this is your future. Your future lies in your hand. Whatever you are giving, it will come back to you. So if you are sincere, giving sincerity, if you are a sincere person giving du'as, giving happiness, and giving respect, and giving love, then you are the most fortunate person on this earth, because you will get everything. So someone tells me that I am in trouble, I have all cunning people surrounding me. So I say that, okay, if you were sincere, it should not be the case. Be sincere, and Allah will bring closer sincere people to you. Be sincere. So this is my second point, learning from the life of that great lady, that be sincere, be loving, and try to be simple in your life. Don't look at someone. Try to give something. And whatever you give, it will come back to you increased, and you will have everything. So in my own life, if I feel somehow depressed, I say, okay, I have to give happiness. So happiness will come back to me, and this depression will be removed. And if I feel that I have fewer resources, for example, financial resources, I say, okay, give something, so it will come back to you increased. And I'm practicing this for many years, and it always worked for me. Always worked for me. So for my younger audience, I will tell them this is the formula. If you could work on it, you can change many years of your life, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So my third practical point was to be sincere and a giving person, not someone who is taking. There is a wonderful tradition. A person came to the Prophet and said, "Oh Prophet, your religion is very tough. I had to practice your religion, but it is very tough." The Holy Prophet smiled and said, "No, my religion is very easy. I have not brought anything very tough." So he said, "No, it is tough," because the Holy Prophet said, "How you felt it tough?" He said, "Because whenever I try to make Allah happy, people get annoyed. And whenever I try to make people happy, Allah get annoyed. So this is tough for me. I don't know whom I should work on." The Holy Prophet smiled and said, "May I tell you a way through which you can make both of them happy?" He said, "Yes, Prophet, this can solve my problem." So the Holy Prophet said this tradition, and I don't know how can I translate this, but I will try my best. Number one, the Holy Prophet said, be zahid, zuhd, adopt zuhd. What is zuhd? Limit your desires is zuhd. Have fewer desires. Be zahid, zuhd, have zuhd in this world, Allah will be happy. So you want to make Allah happy, do one thing. Your desires should be limited. Tulul amal is enemy of happiness. Don't have long desires and, oh, I should have this thing, oh, I should have that thing. No, be limited in your desires, not limited in your services. So don't be confused. Be unlimited in your services. Be limited for your own personal desires. Be limited in your desires. Have zuhud and Allah will be happy. And then he said, what I wanted to point out to you, don't look at whatever people have. They will be happy. If you are looking at someone, what he has, can I get something from that? That is the start of enmity. And if you don't look at what people have, this is the beginning of a friendship. They'll be happy with you. So, in my life, what I tried to do, I said myself, I have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is enough for me. Alaysa Allahu bikafin abda. He is enough for his servants. So, I have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't try to get something from someone. Try to give something. And then, I have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is enough. So, what I should be worried? I don't have to bow in front of someone to get something from them. So, I can feel the power, I can feel happiness, I can feel the independence, and this is what we are living for. So this was my third practical point. Always try to be a giving person, and you have everything in your life. And this is what we can learn from Sayyida Tahira Salamullahi alayha. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And now I'm coming to the final point, and it will be over. The third point is learning from her life. Look at her efforts for society. What she did for society. She was a source of comfort for first leader of society, the Holy Prophet. Then a source of comfort for second leader of society, that Imam Ali. She gave two great leaders from her tarbiyah, from her son, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. And two great assistants for that leaders, Bibi Zainab, Bibi Kulthum. Look at her services. And when Imam Ali was ignored, she knocked every door, telling them, why you're not assisting Ali? Why you're not helping Ali? She sacrificed her reputation. She sacrificed her respect. Could anyone imagine doing whatever they did with Fatima at the time of Prophet? Was she silent? They were respecting her. But she sacrificed her respect. She said, no, I will do what is my duty to do. That great lady who always tried to be in her home, always tried to be doing her job. At a time she felt that it is necessary for me to come out and do my social job, do my social services, and offer my services for this social responsibility, and she did that. She was not happy coming out, but she did that. This is the third point. You cannot ignore your social responsibilities. You are living in a society. These societies and we humans are not islands. We have a collective strength, we have a collective life. And Allah has given so many ayat in the Holy Quran regarding this social life. So, community is important. You cannot live in your own family only, in your individual capacity only. You have to have a social life. And this is the third point which we can learn from this great lady, that at times you have to sacrifice your family. At times you have to sacrifice your personal interest, your personal benefits, your personal life, sacrifice everything for the greater cause of society. And this we can see from her life. I told you, had she been silent after that incident of Saqifa, there was no attack on her home. There was no disrespect, such disrespect which was shown to her after that event. But she sacrificed everything. And she did that knowingly that this is going to happen with me. She did that knowingly. And how painful it is to see that she did that when she was aware that, okay, this is going to happen. And the Holy Prophet had told her that, yes, this is going to happen with you. So we can recall a tradition from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When from Rasulullah Rasulullah, that he said to Ali that, Ali, this is going to happen with you. Imam Ali said, is this going to happen with me? He said, yes. Are they going to attack my home? Rasulullah said, yes. Are they going to attack your daughter too? Imam Ali asked. Rasulullah said, yes, this is going to happen with you. So Imam Ali said, what I should do then? And Rasulullah said, Ali, you have to show patience. Oh my Lord, what a patience. He was Haydar Karrar, he was so powerful. No one could enter his home had he tried to fight them. But practicing on whatever Prophet said, he showed his patience. And Bibi Sayyida Salamullahi alayha helped him in this great task. And no sacrifice can be matched with this one. I can tell you, even Karbala is smaller in front of this sacrifice. Even Karbala. And she was the starting of Karbala. Her home and her door was starting point of Karbala. Here we have Karbala. So she sacrificed everything. And with all that grief and sorrow, she lived that life. And what she did that for us to understand, for us to work. And my third point is, look at her weakness at that time when she tried to help Imam Ali. I cannot explain it, out of respect I cannot do this. But how painful was that time when she had her baby died and then she tried to help Imam Ali alayhi salam. And what is the message? Be with your Imam. Don't leave your Imam. Even at the weakest time of your life, try to help your Imam. Alhamdulillah, we are not that weak. Alhamdulillah, we are strong enough. Allah has given us health. Allah has given us so many things, resources. Be a help for your Imam. This is your responsibility in the life of, in the light of her life and her sacrifices. So 3 points: connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that connection should reflect in asking yourself, is it going to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 1 or 2 minutes. The second one is her services to her family. And you can do this by being sincere, being loving, and being a giving personality. And the third one is her help and assistance to leaders of community and the whole community. And we can do this by helping our Imam and helping our community. I took a lot of time. Thank you very much for your paying attention to these humble words. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Please, everybody sitting down, please. I request Maulana Mahbub Midi. Please, salawat.
I think. Are you hungry? How about 1 more hour? Okay. You heard what Mulana said, right? Next week or the week after, inshallah, whoever remembers and writes these 3 points that Maulana mentioned here, he will get a prize, okay? I will see who is going to.
Those practical points too. Besides these 3 main points, the practical points too.
3 points, and besides those 3 points, when he explained about those practical points that you can do them, you can practice them in your life and apply them in your life. So write them, and whoever submit those points that he or she heard here, inshallah, will get the prize next. After this, inshallah, after your lunch, whoever is able, the parents or the teachers or anyone, to attend the majlis at Valley of Peace, Wadi Salam. So there is a majlis because there is kind of opening of a, or we can say in honor of a structure that is built there in the name of Baytul Ahzan or Baytul Huzn. Originally the name is Baytul Ahzan. So that Baytul Ahzan in the memory of Janab-e-Fatima Salamullahi alayha. Majlis is at 2 o'clock, inshallah 2, now after this, until 3. It's just 1 hour program. It's good to go there and read Fatiha if you have time. Then at 4, inshallah, there is a majlis here also. Majlis of Fatiha, if you can attend, you can do that. Salawat wa Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Let's stand up and read Ziyarat.
السلام عليك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك وعلى جدك وأبيك وأمك وأخيك وعلى الأئمة المعصومين من ذريتك وبنيك. السلام عليك وعلى أخيك أبي الفضل العباس وعلى أختك الحوراء زينب وعلى المستشهدين بين يديك جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا غريب الغرباء ويا معين الضعفاء والفقراء. السلطان يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى الرضا، عليك التحية والثناء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب الزمان ويا شريك القرآن ويا خليفة الرحمن ويا إمام الإنس والجان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك وشيعتك ومحبيك والمستشهدين بين يديك ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد.